Today on Suncoast View, a Florida senator has a new idea on how to fund paid parental leave with retirement savings. We'll discuss.
We are getting ready to send the kids back to school. Today, doctors remind us why school physicals are so important.
And I'll introduce you to another amazing Suncoast woman who smashes through corporate glass ceilings and shares her life lesson with women everywhere. All that and more right now on Suncoast View.
Welcome to the show and welcome back to Kathy Carson-Fryman. Great to have you with us.
Great to be here, as always.
Back from vacation, nonetheless.
Yes.
Is this your way to kind of ease into it before you check into the office?
Yeah, right? I need a vacation from my vacation.
Well, that is true anytime you take kids on a trip because you don't really ever get to stop being on.
It's not a vacation, it's a trip.
It's a trip with children. Yes, we call it a trip with children.
Yes.
Well, we saw that Kathy was in New York City, so we're actually going to spend some time in a little while talking about all the different things that you did with the kids, that you can do with the kids. Yeah,
we did everything.
But you gotta wait until they're a certain age, right? I mean, you can't just.
I don't know. They're 5, right?
Yeah,
5
they're little. They're little. So I wouldn't have thought that this was a good idea. But it ended up being really fun. It ended up they were better in New York City than they are when I take them, downtown Sarasota.
Well, there's so much to see.
Yeah. They were scared straight, basically.
That's okay. You know what? Whatever works.
There were so many people.
I can say from my experience, when I was a kid, these vacations last forever in your memory. And they get better and better as you get older. They become perfect memories of your traveling with your parents, of doing things with your parents when you were a kid. So it's worth every agonizing minute.
It really wasn't agonizing. I can say it was easier than last year. We went to Myrtle Beach, and I would say that New York City was easier. And we go with another couple of kids the same age.
Right, so you're all in the same world.
Exactly, so nobody's mad at us, like we're all.
But think about it, they are like old enough to walk, but then small enough that you can still just scoop them up if you're not walking fast enough,
Yes, that's a good point.
Exactly.
That's a good point. And it may be easier than taking teenagers, I'll let you know.
Oh, absolutely.
I would say definitely.
Well, good. Well, I'm glad you had a good trip.
Yes.
We're excited to hear everything that you did. And we're also excited to welcome back a familiar face in the kitchen. Chef Allison from Peak Performance Catering back with us today. What are we making?
Good morning. We are going to make something just really fresh and great for the summer. It's a watermelon gazpacho because watermelon is abundant right now. And so I just thought it was just like a nice, fresh, easy thing for you to do at home, quick for dinner or for lunch.
Sounds like a good idea.
My top.
And you look great today.
I look like a walking watermelon.
And the only kind of soup we want is the cold kind, as it is
That's
95
right. Oh my
once again
gosh.
today. So yeah, we will take
Yeah.
all the cool treats we can. And hydrating, I know watermelon is too.
Yes, absolutely. So that's why I thought, it's definitely something good to have, and it's quick to take on the go. If for lunch, you make it the day before, it sits overnight.
Good idea.
And it's just, it's totally cool and refreshing. I served it over the weekend to guests as the first course.
Oh, lovely.
This is a nice
they
step
loved
up
it.
from my attempt at salted watermelon yesterday.
I had it yesterday. It was wonderful.
This one is a little more involved.
Yeah,
That's why we brought in a chef.
Chef.
All right, thanks, Allison. We'll see you in a little bit.
Thanks.
Well, I am in the midst of back to school world as Reagan is just 2 weeks away from going to college, and I am getting so many fun questions because she's going 1,000 miles away to University of Wisconsin. So all my mom friends are like, how are you doing this? So this is how you're doing this. This is my dad's garage in Chicago, where we have shipped everything from Amazon, from Target, and from Walmart. So everything that needs to go in the dorm room. Well, here's what's not brilliant. Those are 2 really big piles of boxes. I'm hoping there's lots of extra empty space. So when we get there in 2 weeks, the first thing we do is rip open all the boxes, take assessment, and then pack the SUV that I've rented. So we are flying from Florida to Chicago, packing a car, and then driving the remaining 2 hours to Wisconsin.
That's a great idea.
Because you can't take all that on an airplane.
Oh, yeah.
And the first move is when you have to buy the comforter, buy the sheets, buy the shelving, buy the underbed boxes. It's a girl, you can only imagine the list of things.
Sure.
So that was my solution, and I posted that a couple of places, and everybody is fascinated by the amount of boxes that have arrived at my dad's house.
But you may have to bring some of that back, because usually you get there with a lot more than you need. There's no place for it, so you
It's
stick it in the
possible.
car and bring it back.
Well, but there is no back because I'm flying out from
Oh,
Wisconsin.
yes.
So I'm
Wow.
not quite sure what
Your
we're going to do
luggage
about that.
may be a little overweight.
Yeah.
She'll have a little dorm sale when she gets there.
I mean, I guess honestly, I could check one of those boxes right back under the airplane as a checked bag and take it back and deal with the returns.
Yeah.
We haven't thought that through yet,
This
Linda.
is a big game changer, though, because I mean, it's been, online shopping was not happening when I went to college with my brothers.
Can you imagine? I know.
Because then now also too, it can be there, but then when you and Reagan get there, you don't have to spend 3 days hitting all the Targets
Right.
and hitting all the
Yes.
stores.
We have
hitting
3 hours.
Yeah.
Move-in is at 9 a.m. on Sunday, and my flight's at about 5 p.m. that afternoon. So we're going to throw it in for 3 hours, make one mother grocery trip for the odds and
course.
ends we've forgotten, and the pop and the water and the crackers, and then I'm out. So
You're so organized.
I don't know.
Everybody
She's
can-
been very organized. So that's what's happening in the back of my brain at all moments now is lists running and wondering what we're messing up in the logistics.
Plus, you have the
Making a
boys.
list.
You've
I'll
got-
keep you posted. Yeah, the boys start high school on Friday. So that's all. They are not letting me take pictures at the moment, but we have 2 freshman high school football players in the 95-degree heat every day. And they are exhausted and they smell terrible.
Are they losing weight?
I haven't checked on that, but they don't always hold down their lunch while they're practicing.
I bet.
That is very normal in the Florida heat. So it's I see why Florida athletes are tough. They're putting them through the work. So that's the chaos in my world. I come here to sit down and chat.
I'm glad mine are 5 and 8 years old and go home to her house.
All right, well, it is time for our first hot topic. And Florida Senator Marco Rubio is proposing a new plan for parental leave in America. You could pay for it with your own retirement savings. Parents would have the option to dip into their future Social Security retirement benefits to have paid time off to care for a newborn. So parents making $70,000 a year would get 2 months of payments equal to 70% of their income. The trade-off? Lower Social Security benefits for life and likely having to wait longer to retire. What do you think?
Oh, what a ripoff. They're going to keep your money for 50 years, and then they're going to cut what they've offered you in the beginning. So they're making interest on that money, and you're losing it. You
Doesn't
can't do
seem
that.
Like a very good deal to me. I mean, gee, thanks. You're borrowing against your own retirement.
Yes,
I mean,
your own safety and security.
that seems like 101 in how not to manage your money, like how not to plan for retirement by taking money out of your
I
retirement.
guess it started because people borrow against their 401k for emergency reasons,
Sure.
including a leave for their kids. So I think the government theory on that is, well, rather than borrow against the private fund, why not borrow against the public fund? But I know, Kathy, our generation is worried about having money for retirement as it is.
Exactly.
Because we keep hearing that Social Security isn't going to hang out anyway, so I'm not going to make it any lower.
So that
Having a
newborn
baby.
baby is going to have to look after that parent that borrowed the
that's
money.
true.
Good point.
And is this in place of the employer? I mean, what is
Right.
available now that the employer would pay for?
Well,
paid
the employer
leave?
doesn't have to pay for anything.
No.
There's
Most
nothing.
don't.
So, and there's the political divide. Is that some of the politicians want employer funded? Some of them are obviously bucking for government funded. It just depends. But you get family leave, which means they can't fire me. I get to stay home, but they don't have to pay me
But
a
it's not
dime.
paid leave. Wow.
And most companies don't.
You can take your short-term disability
Right.
if you have short-term
Yes,
disability,
okay.
but it only kicks in usually after 4 weeks, and then it
Right.
only pays for like 2 weeks.
I
because
mean, when
basically
I
you
did
have
it
to go
15
back.
years ago, I had to use my vacation time first, and then I think I had a couple unpaid weeks,
Oh, yeah.
and then short-term kicked in, but it's only like 60%.
Yeah.
It was tough.
When
Yeah.
Kathy was born, I took 10 days off because I was afraid somebody would come in and get my job. And they sort of frowned on my taking more time off. And look how well she turned out.
Did you almost bleed out or something when you went back to work, though?
You're not supposed to be on your feet in the field right after you deliver a
Okay,
baby.
there was an ambulance trip to the hospital.
Oh, Linda.
But I mean, I want to play the side here of like, this is a problem and this isn't the solution.
Yeah.
It sounds like, but like nurturing, spending time with the baby in the beginning, isn't that time that just pays off as they grow older,
For
For
all of
society.
society, yeah.
Yes, for society, for health reasons, for bonding reasons.
Yes.
I mean, it's a serious financial struggle for women to have a maternity leave, and that's not okay.
That's
Yeah.
tough.
That is not
tough.
okay.
And this obviously is not the answer.
I'm not sure this is the answer, but at least they're talking about it. But
Yeah.
I guess we'll go with that positive. So Florida is a no-fault divorce state, which means there is no punishment for something like adultery when you're going through divorce negotiations. But one man found out that is not the case in North Carolina. A man accused of stealing another man's wife has now been ordered to pay $8.8 million to him. Now, most of that is punitive, but $2 million is compensation for the lost revenue from the small business the former married couple owned together before they separated. In North Carolina, it is legal for a person to sue an individual that his or her spouse is involved with outside of the marriage. It's referred to as alienation of affection.
This was written when women were considered property. You stole my property. Nobody could steal me. Could somebody steal you away from your spouse? Not possible.
No, because you don't belong to them.
No.
Yeah.
Lawyer?
Well, I mean, it's just a different law. It's a different way to look at divorce. You're right. Some of it has to do with property, but a lot of it also has to do with, you know, if you're the one who was the reason the marriage broke up, then you're the one that the finger should get pointed at. The problem is this guy is not one of the people in the marriage. You know what I mean? I can see how it works when it's, you know, the spouse. But when you're looking at an outsider.
Right, suing the outsider.
Yeah.
But that whole, you know, you did this, so it's your fault and you should pay me. Okay, everything happens for a reason and it usually takes two to tango.
Yeah, you can play that game.
Let's not play that game.
Does this have a lot more to do with the fact that there was a business partnership?
Yes.
Because they can still continue to work together even if they don't like each other.
That's very
They could, but this has to do with the fact that there are still 5 states where there is no-fault divorce doesn't exist. I want to say it's like North Carolina, South Carolina, Utah. No shock on that one. There was a couple other. They were kind of random though.
Okay.
But the Carolinas surprised me a little bit. That's that deep Southern old-fashioned.
Yeah, it's been there a long time and nobody ever notices it. But I just think that husband had something to do with it. He just seems mean to me.
I think this is a steep price
He's right,
tag.
I'm not a jury guy.
It'll make people think twice about, you know, crossing out of the marriage.
Exactly. For $8 million, I'll put up and shut up. So an ugly divorce is just one reason you might want to check out the newest activity in our area. It's a smash room. It is designed to constructively channel aggression. You go there, they give you crowbars, bats, a hammer. You can demolish glass, TVs, tables, whatever else you can find to hit, and they give you the stuff to hit. This rage room concept just opened in Lakeland. There's another one to follow in Tampa over by USF. A single-person 20-minute session at the smash room is $30. Would this really make anybody feel that much better?
This defines 2018 to me. Like, we have to have a place like a rage room. Like we should get like
a safe place
like
and a rage room.
Yeah, we should get like everybody on Facebook and really mad, and then they can go in the rage room.
I kind of smell a field trip. I think this would be awesome. Except I'm thinking, like, can't we take this idea and put it toward, like, if there are buildings that need to be demolished, have them help with that? So at least
that's
it's
hysterical.
helping. You know?
So
Couple get paid.
Yeah.
Couple things I learned. You can bring your own items to be demolished. Like I have a printer that sits in my bedroom. I might bring that because that printer and
Something
I.
that belongs to your husband.
Or something that belongs to your ex-husband. But they then, if you have like a special request, they will do their best to find it. You know, they have, you know, they were talking about excess from, you know, donation sites and
like
junkyards
China
and
or something.
right.
I
Something
think this
your
is
wedding
so
china.
wrong.
Everybody's so angry. What is the
But you know,
deal?
I think what helps is say, don't get in a little tight room that makes you angrier. Run. Just get out in nature and run,
That's
and
not
pretty
a bad
soon
idea.
You will start looking around you and breathing hard.
Maybe
and
not
you'll
at
go away.
95 though. I don't want
I'll
you
be
to
3
run.
hours away.
Now I'm imagining you out in nature.
Right. Do you typically run? This is news to me.
That's why she's never angry.
I'm thinking of it. I'm thinking of it.
All right, well, an engineer and web guy picks up from Texas and moves to Silicon Valley. He wants to work in the tech industry, but he ran out of money before he got a job and found himself homeless. So he took to the streets, not to beg for money, but to hand out copies of his resume. His sign read, "Hungry for success, take a resume." So one woman asked to take a picture of his setup. She tweeted it. It ended up being retweeted more than 138,000 times with the hashtag #GetDavidAJob. He has now been contacted by more than 200 companies, including the biggies like Nexus, Apple, Google, and is interviewing now for tech jobs.
Oh, wow.
A little niceness and humanity there.
This can only work once, though. That's the thing. Now you can't have a whole bunch of copycats.
And I don't think anybody blames you in Silicon Valley for being homeless because it costs so much to live there that until you get the job, there's not much you can do.
Yeah, well, if you can't go over the mountain or around it, find another way.
Good point. All right, we're going to check out our mid-morning forecast. When we come back, Kathy's going to give us her secrets to surviving New York City with small kids.
Happy Tuesday to you. I'm meteorologist Josh Stone, and here's your forecast for today, beginning with mostly sunny skies, then increasing clouds, and then by this afternoon a few showers and storms will get going, and looks like we'll have a change in our forecast later on this work week and into the weekend. Dry air on top of the peninsula, that's going to limit any sort of widespread shower activity, and notice these areas of high pressure to our northeast. That's driving the upper level winds around from the east and northeast, and when the storms start to get going this afternoon, the upper level winds from the east will push these storms close to the coast. You can see this on the Futurecast, right with the sea breeze convergence basically happening right on top of the coastal line areas, and then they push off into the Gulf of Mexico. The tropics, well, there's one little disturbance here in the North Atlantic we're watching, but that's just going to affect some shipping interest, and that's about it. As far as the rest of the day planner, it looks like we're going to top out in the low 90s.
New York City is known as the Big Apple, as the city that never sleeps, but it is not known as a place that is easy to take young children. That doesn't stop our guest host, Kathy Carson-Fryman. She and her family are just back from a week in New York City. Kathy, I am so impressed. I mean, seriously, my kids did not get to go and do this until they were teenagers. So you're brave, but you found some ways to make it work for the kids.
Yeah, we actually had a really good time. We were there with another family, and we really wanted to go to New York, but like you said, we thought, well, this is insane. But we found that walking around New York with little kids is actually, you're actually in good company. There were a lot of other families there. In fact, we got there really late the first day, and we ended up, usually my kids have to go to bed, like it's still light outside. So, but we ended up like walking to Times Square, and
so they got to experience it.
Yes, and it was a Saturday night, finally at like 11 o'clock at Times Square. Could not have been more insane. And the funny thing was, we looked around and I'm like, why are there so many kids here? There were a lot of families doing the same thing.
That's great. All right, so let's talk about the streets.
Yes.
They're crowded, they're busy, you have to worry about kids darting around. How did they understand this was serious business?
Because the cars are so, I mean, it's not like around here, you know, like they started to see like, oh, these cars come and they don't follow red lights and green lights, and walk and don't walk don't really matter. So they were really good about staying on the sidewalks.
Now, I took them to Toys R Us once and lost both of them. Yeah. So I don't know how you did this.
Fear worked for me.
Yeah, and that's okay. That's an important lesson. I mean, you're teaching them about traffic. You're teaching them about the seriousness of being a pedestrian, obeying your signals. I mean, those are all great kid lessons.
There were a lot of heavy hand squeezes, you know what I mean? To kind of,
absolutely.
To let them know that this was the direction they should be in. But really, you know, we ended up finding out that a lot of the things, you know, going up on the Empire State Building, they're kind of, there's not many places you can run off to. I mean, you know, you're kind of in a line and everything is very secure. Look, you can see my arm. Look how tight I'm holding.
Right, you've got a hand on her. Now, any nervousness? I mean, I'm sure it's the first time they've been, you know, 100 stories up.
No, only from me. They were
that someone was going to jump or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, but really, unless you were going to scale that, you know, there's
very
really
safe.
Nothing that's dangerous about that. But, I mean, as you can see, I'm holding on to her with that death grip. So.
Yes, you actually very much are. That's very funny.
You learn so much about the world and other people, and this is not the whole world.
And they're looking in the wrong direction.
I love it. There's also that like that
the other way.
movement to the streets, and when you get near the big destinations, I remember from living there that it's almost like it's like you're going with the stream.
You're swept away.
Yeah, so
right.
I can understand holding the hands tight, but also everybody's moving the same way.
But they also they all really stayed together because they're so short and everyone was so tall.
Right.
They were like, okay, I'm staying in the pack of grown-ups. Like,
I didn't have a lot of choice
to stay in between. You know, we had 4 adults and we kind of got them, and they all had a buddy.
Right. So that's good. Now, you mentioned that you were able to cover a lot of ground by doing more than just walking. Talk about the boat tour, because that's a great way to see things.
The boat tour was great. You do the Statue of Liberty and you see all the buildings and the Brooklyn Bridge. And you don't have to walk around. You don't have to drive around. You know, somebody else is doing it. And the kids are impressed because they're on a big boat. You know, so everybody's happy. The adults are getting some of the history, and the kids are just excited that they're on a boat seeing big buildings. You
get to sit.
And you get to sit.
Well, exactly.
In fact, you have to sit.
Yeah.
That was the best part. You weren't allowed to stand up. I was like, yes.
Well, I asked them what they liked best about the trip, and the 5-year-old said the Statue of Liberty, and she proceeded to tell me what the Statue of Liberty meant. So I think it meant a lot to them.
Oh,
well, that's good.
They save all that for their grandmother. I mean,
well, at least they didn't say what you liked best was the crazy people in Times Square, but I'm sure that did make an impression.
They loved it, actually. My son, who normally hates loud noises, there he is. Yeah, he was in this, you can see how many people there were.
Oh, it's
it was
packed.
Crazy. He was like, New York really is the city that never sleeps. So, I mean, they loved it. It was
And Times Square is a lot more Disneyfied, isn't it? If you haven't been there, even in
Oh,
5
yeah.
years, you
Yeah.
see how much more they've
Oh
done there.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I was like, let's get out of Times
Yeah.
Square. Like
Right.
they thought it was way cooler than I did. I was like, why are we in Times Square?
I think
I
the
love Times
first
Square.
time you see it, especially with
Yeah.
young eyes, that impression
Oh,
is
yeah.
something that you don't
Oh,
forget.
they loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with my son who loves all the games and everything. He was like, imagine playing a game on the screen.
That's hysterical.
I was impressed that you stayed in an Airbnb.
That made all the difference in the world because we were with another family, and if you stay in a hotel, you're trapped when the kids go to bed.
Absolutely.
And the hotels in New York are expensive. So the Airbnb was a brownstone that we rented. It ended up being the same cost that we would have paid for getting hotel rooms. And it had 3 levels. It had the kids
wow.
up there
that's nice.
up there by themselves. None of the doors opened, even though they had these
Right.
great
They didn't
outdoor
want you out
spaces.
there.
Yeah, and then there were 2 bedrooms, like 2 master-style bedrooms for the adults. It was
So you had some adult time, you had some kid space.
it was great.
good.
And
All
I'm
right.
sure the
that's-
other people in the hotel appreciate that you weren't there.
All right, well, good. I'm glad you had such a great week.
Yes.
Some great stories and tips for anyone considering New York with kids. Coming up next, we have some big casting announcements for some big name movies.
My name is Blake. I received a heart transplant when I was 2 weeks old. I play defense for the Red Hot Tornadoes. Sometimes my heart starts pounding like faster and faster as I go. I know I have someone else's heart inside me. It makes me feel happy because someone was generous enough to give me a second chance to live.
This gift of life was made possible by an organ donor. Imagine what you could make possible. Sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
It's hard to see when you're outside at night. It's time for the Atomic Beam Sunblast, the new solar-powered light that's super bright. Atomic Beam Sunblast lets you add a light anywhere, and the atomic solar panels charge the built-in lithium-ion battery quickly. Then the 180-degree motion sensor turns on the light when you get near and automatically turns off when you disappear. Look, here's a best-selling outdoor solar light, and here's the super bright Atomic Beam Sunblast. Get the super bright Atomic Beam Sunblast for only $19.99. But wait, call right now and you can double your order and get a second Sunblast, plus our best-selling Atomic Beam flashlight. Just pay a separate fee. That's 2 Atomic Beam Sunblasts and the Atomic Beam flashlight. Call now.
Call 1-800-431-6640. That's 1-800-431-6640. Or visit mysunblast.com. So call 1-800-431-6640. Order now.
We're going to check in with the latest entertainment headlines, and Joey's been keeping an eye on things for us.
Yes, all right, good stuff coming out from Hollywood. Big names are confirmed for the cast of the much-anticipated film Fair and Balanced. This is the movie that will tell the story of the sexual misconduct scandal at Fox News surrounding the former Fox News chair, Roger Ailes. Nicole Kidman has been confirmed now to star as former anchor Gretchen Carlson, who of course first stepped forward with allegations. She's going to join Charlize Theron, who will play Megyn Kelly, but also Theron is producing the film, so it's led by some strong ladies, which is good. Margot Robbie has also joined the cast, and she's rumored to be playing a fictionalized Fox News character that will be kind of an amalgamation of a bunch of the different producers that were there. So it sounds like a really good cast. I'm curious, though, as we get into it, what other characters we might see appear in the story.
Bill
Yes.
O'Reilly.
Bill O'Reilly is one that they're talking about. Former anchor Greta Van Susteren, Rupert Murdoch. I also wonder, too, I mean, is this story finished? Is this going to make people less likely to come out and speak knowing that a movie's being made about it, or will they be more likely so they can get their name out?
I think more likely.
Yeah.
More likely.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's interesting to me. I think it's a good cast. What do you think of Nicole Kidman as Gretchen Carlson?
Big name
Yeah.
cast. I mean, I'm impressed that such huge stars wanted to sign up and do this.
How close is it sticking to the truth?
That we don't know.
won't
We're not
know.
sure. The writer or the director, one of the guys in charge will be, he did The Big Short. So he's used to going into a real life scandal. And from what I remember, that movie stuck pretty close. I mean, you
Yeah.
have to fictionalize some things, of course.
Yeah.
But I do like that it's being led by a predominantly female team.
Absolutely.
I think it's
Yeah.
very important with the Me Too
The
movement.
fact
with
that
the
we
message.
don't know who any of the men are in
Yes,
this movie, I think
yes.
says a lot about
I agree.
what
Right.
kind of
I
movie
agree.
it's going to
And
be.
with Charlize Theron at the helm, I think it'll be good. All right, so from that scary movie to another scary movie of a different kind. Ewan McGregor is starring in the sequel to Stephen King's The Shining. It's called Dr. Sleep, and the movie follows Daniel Torrance. Remember the little kid, Red Rob, the little kid from the movie? Well, his character's now all grown up, and he's realized that he has psychic powers. So the word is that this film is going to follow very closely Stephen King's book sequel, unlike, as we know, the 1980s Stanley Kubrick film, which veered very much from the original novel. So much so, in fact, that if you remember in, I believe it was 2007, Stephen King made his own version of The Shining as a TV miniseries because he was unhappy with it. But this is supposed to pick up, when this was first announced, people were wondering, is it going to follow the sequel to the movie version or to the book? And this is going to follow the book.
And do people still remember it enough to care? That's what I wonder.
That's a
I mean,
good question.
1980 was a long time ago.
Yeah, and
I remember
It's a
it. Do you?
classic, though. I mean, I think that a lot of people have seen that movie recently. You know, I think
Right.
that's one of those.
Because
If
of the
you like,
sequel
if you
wasn't
like a
that long
horror
ago.
film, then that's
Yeah.
one of the movies
Yeah,
you have to
that
see.
you have to see it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but the iconic the scary parts for me are from the Kubrick film. So I wonder if I'm going to be as
Definitely.
interested. I was not as interested in the TV miniseries, so we'll see. On a lighter note, of course, Disney fans have reason to celebrate. They have announced the latest title to be added to their list of live-action remakes, Lady and the Tramp. And actually, you might have a chance to be in it. A casting call was posted looking for extras for the film. Human extras, that is. The call will be this weekend in Atlanta. Linda, tell your
If
friends.
I were going to be in Atlanta, I'd
Yes.
audition.
That is where they're expecting that the film is going to be shot. But this is kind of interesting. Don't expect this one to hit the big screens. Reports say it'll be the first of its kind to be streamed on Disney's new unnamed digital service first. And that will
very interesting.
debut next year.
It'd be easier than taking the kids to the movies.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. You can watch it at home. All right, sounds good. Thanks, Joey. Coming up next, we're going to introduce you to another amazing Suncoast woman.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TrueStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189. Now, for a free, no-obligation quote, TrueStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system could make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now, SoClean.com has released the world's first automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs and bacteria. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer, risk-free for 30 days. Just call
800-604-0398.
The SoClean works, and it's a really effective product, and I couldn't believe how easy it was to use.
SoClean works on all popular CPAP machines and masks, destroying CPAP germs and bacteria without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and walk away. Voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited-time offer. Call now,
800-604-0398.
or visit SoClean.com today.
Another pair of satisfied emotions. Looks to me like elation and maybe some amazement. It's part of the Honda Summer Spectacular event experience. You could say satisfaction comes standard here, just like the Honda Accord comes standard with a luxurious, roomy interior. All at the Honda Summer Spectacular event.
We see it all the time.
Visit your local Honda dealer and test drive the Honda Accord, 2018's North American Car of the Year.
I just need a second.
Is your weight holding you back and affecting your health?
Did you see this? Your cousin had a heart attack.
Really?
Excess weight or obesity can be serious, but you can do something about it. Visit yourweightmatters.org. Download the free toolkit to prepare you to speak with a healthcare provider. Your weight does matter. Accept the challenge and take charge today. Visit yourweightmatters.org.
We're always thrilled to learn that so many powerful women choose to make Sarasota their home. Jessica Bloom graduated from the University of Central Florida with an accounting degree, and then the CPA made a beeline for the top. For years, she's been able to look back at many glass ceilings that she's crashed through, and our guest host and my daughter, Kathy Carson, nominated her as an amazing Suncoast woman. So tell me why, Kathy, that you nominated Jessica, because this is the first one I've gotten from you.
Well, here's why. She's a retired vice chair of Deloitte. She was on the company's executive committee and the U.S. Board of Directors. She's also currently serving on the boards of 2 Fortune 500 companies, Publix and Centene Corporation, and she's secretary of the Sarasota United Way Suncoast Board. So a lot going on.
You got a lot of information. Wow, I'm so impressed.
Oh, it's a busy day.
Well, are there still glass ceilings out there? Why don't more CPAs and attorneys make it to the top?
You know, I think they're shattering. Maybe we've punched a hole or two. Because even Deloitte has a woman CEO of the U.S. firm.
Oh,
okay,
very
as
good.
does one of the other big 4 firms. So I think we are making progress. I will say in 1993, when I was a young professional at Deloitte, we started a women's initiative. And at that time, Lynn Martin, who you'll probably remember, but the rest of the people here on the panel probably won't, was Secretary of Labor for George George Bush Sr. And Lynn was working with us, and she said to me one day, and of course I was very active in the initiative, and she said, you know, Jessica, we're going to make progress, but in your generation, it won't be fixed. And of course, you know, we wanted it to be fixed.
Yeah.
And she said, but it won't be, but we will make big progress. And I do think we're making progress.
Well, you're often one of the only woman on a lot of boards, a lot of positions you've held. Can you look back at the other women and say, oh, if they'd only do this, if they'd only do that?
You know, I do think that if I look back over 20 years, we'd made some mistakes, I think, on how we'd prepared women for the business world. You know, because women, we care a lot about things. I mean, I care because I'm on the Suncoast United Way board. But, you know, you have to care about your business and the path to business. And I think that we made some mistakes on how we positioned women to be ready for those positions. And I do think that we learned that. So now the imperative is clear. We have put things in place in many, you know, firms and corporations on how to support women development, how to support things around work-life balance. You know, because we know that often women carry the biggest burden about the family.
Yes.
Whether it's your children or whether it's your parents, right? So, you know, so I think many corporations have started to work through that.
Now you must, go ahead, Kathy.
What advice would you give to a young professional woman today?
You know, I think the biggest advice is, you know, there's a couple of things. One is you have to find who you are. You have to be authentic to who you are. And if that means that you have this caring, nurturing, you know, then you have to live to that. Or if that means you have the desire to rise to the top, you have to live to that. So first you have to decide who you really are. And then the next thing is you need to seek help. You need to seek the help of mentors. You know, you need to, and if it's in your organization, who's the person who can sponsor you? Who's the person who can not just be your friend, but who's going to give you that tough advice and tell you what it's really going to take to, you know, excel. So does that make sense?
You must have hit a lot of brick walls along the way. How did you handle that?
Yeah, there was quite a few. And, you know, by the way, it was probably about the same at the end as it was in the beginning.
Oh,
because,
really?
Well, you know, because you wanted a bigger something, right? So you still had a wall to get over.
Yes.
And, you know, so I would say I jumped over a few of them. A couple other I kind of crept around the side. But, you know, and then I used my network to help me when appropriate. And you know why I did it is because I loved what I was doing. I mean, my job was, I mean, every day was different. I mean, I laugh about, and I think lawyers are a lot that way too, but I laugh about people who have what I call real jobs. I don't know how you could have a real job. I mean, you guys don't have real jobs, right?
Definitely
Don't tell anybody.
Definitely don't have
But, you
real
know, I don't know how people can have a real job where they go to the same office to the same thing every day. Because I had, and then besides having great job, great clients, some of the largest clients in the U.S., largest companies in the U.S. rather, and you know, I had wonderful, smart people to work with. Okay.
Well, so do I. That's
Now,
amazing.
You're going to be speaking on August 21st at the Florida Association of Women Lawyers, the Sarasota chapters, at our installation meeting for the board. What kind of things are you going to be talking about there?
Yeah, I think a couple of things I want to talk about is, and as we've discussed, is the importance of organizations like FAWL, and because even today, I belong to organizations, even though I'm retired, that are supportive of women, whether it's the IWF, the International Women's Forum, who I think has been on the show here before, but and so I think to talk about what is your role in that organization to carry on the things that are on your mission statement. And it's, you know, it's being very active in identifying and working with the women and, you know, helping them understand how you got to where you are, and also helping them meet and connect with other people who can be supportive of them as well.
I've got to
finding a
ask this
community.
question.
Yeah.
What is your life lesson? What's the secret of all this?
I think I have many of them, but I would say that one of my early life lessons, which I think still applies in everything I do today, is to find your voice. And it's like, so you first off, you have an opinion. You should find a way to speak that opinion, and find it, you know, whether it's in the work, you know, daily work environment, or it's on a board of directors environment, and whether it was on my Deloitte board, which by that time I was a very senior partner, or if I'm now on the new board of directors. So I think it's finding my voice and being true to it.
And using it.
And using it.
Yes.
Right.
You certainly are an amazing Suncoast woman. Thank you so much, Jessica.
you.
And Jessica will be the keynote speaker at the Sarasota chapter of the Florida Association of Women Lawyers Board Installation Luncheon on August 21st at the Crab and Fin. And Kathy will be installed as a board member. Just wanted to throw that in. And for more information and tickets, find them on Facebook at Sarasota FAWL. We'll be right back.
This is an ABC 7 News Update.
Good morning, I'm Ray Collins. Today at noon, red tide has now spread to Manatee County. The city of Holmes Beach has set up dumpsters at various access points for dead fish. We'll have a story. And how parents can prepare their students for bullying, cliques, and other challenges at school. We'll talk to a counselor about helping kids pack their emotional backpack for class. But first, here's the forecast from meteorologist Josh Stone.
All right, Ray. Well, with the heating of the day and the sea breeze convergence later on this afternoon, look what the Futurecast has in store for us. Well, these storms start to get going about 4 or 5 in the afternoon. They flare up, and then they all push westward, and then things start to fizzle out as we go through the evening hours. As our tropical outlook shows us, there is one little disturbance here in the North Atlantic, but that's going to stay away from the Suncoast. This will track over cooler waters in the North Atlantic. Stay away from us.
When I was growing up, my mom told us, always treat others the way you want to be treated. She did business with companies that shared her values, like Mutual of Omaha. She had a guaranteed whole life insurance policy through United of Omaha Life Insurance Company, a Mutual of Omaha company. When my mother passed away, her United of Omaha policy helped cover her funeral expenses and bills, and they had money on its way to us within 24 hours.
United of Omaha is here to take care of you. When you call the number on your screen, we'll help find the right policy for you. If you're between 45 and 85, you can get coverage up to $25,000 with no medical exam. Call us right now at the number on your screen.
Now I know I'll be taking care of my family, even after I'm gone.
United of Omaha guaranteed whole life insurance. Call or go online now. Be there for their future.
The day you lose your strength is the day you lose your independence. Muscle is lost with age, affecting your energy, balance, and mobility. Before you know it, you're depending on others just to get through the day. But you can reverse and prevent muscle loss. Introducing MyoHealth, a revolutionary proven approach to increased muscle strength and function in as little as 30 days. Live life on your terms with more energy and confidence.
After a serious health issue put me down, MyoHealth's getting me back up again.
I'm doing activities that I haven't done for a long time. It really works.
MyoHealth is a safe, natural dietary supplement, the result of decades of research and 24 human clinical studies. You can live stronger at any age with greater strength, mobility, balance, and energy. Call or go online now and take the MyoHealth 30-Day Strength Challenge.
This is what high blood pressure looks like. Talk with your doctor to create a treatment plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
It's hard to believe, but summer vacation is wrapping up and back to school season is here. So in addition to shopping for backpacks and binders, make sure you put a back to school physical on your to-do list for the kids and for yourself. Laurel Ciccarello from Gulf Coast Medical Group Urgent Care is here to explain how important the annual physical is. Welcome.
Thank you, Joe.
So help us really kind of get it. Why is a yearly physical important for students? Is it really necessary, especially if you have a pretty healthy kid?
Well, it's highly advised. And what you want to do is, these physicals are important for 3 reasons. You want to, it's a time where you can look at their developmental progress, like their height and weight. And if you pick up any issues, then that can be monitored or they can be sent to a specialist. The second important reason is it's a great time to review their safety in the home, like locking up guns, putting them away properly.
So
water safety is very important
so we
for
can
the little
advance
ones.
beyond physiological checkups and also a nice checkup with safety and behavior?
Right. Most of these checkups involve a variety of things, like the safety, helmets for the little kids, seat belts, no texting and driving for the teens, saying no to smoking, drugs, alcohol, sex. But also, you want to take a look at other things. You want to screen for scoliosis, for hernias and scoliosis in the young girls, hernias in the guys, but also hearing and vision. So these screenings are important because that will determine their success at school.
Oh, yes.
And if they find deficits, then they can have that corrected, and this gives them the best chance for a good year at school.
And the fact that it's done annually, does that also kind of give you a benchmark and let you look at the progress in previous years?
Yeah,
to see anything?
The reason about these, it's so important to go every year. It's recommended. Is it required? No, but highly recommended, is because you want to check to see if their height and weight is appropriate for their age.
What should parents be doing to get the most benefit from these physicals?
Yeah, so the biggest tip I have for that is go prepared with a plan. Like write out questions or concerns regarding your child's health so that you can address these with the provider at the time.
Okay.
These exams are usually quick and you want to be focused.
Oh, yes, that's great. That's to maximize the time with the doctor.
Yeah.
Now, I know that there are some school immunization requirements in Florida. What vaccines are important for kids?
Well, I want to cover 2 vaccines. The first is pertussis, or whooping cough. There was a big resurgence of whooping cough in 2012. And it's like the the highest rate we've ever had since the 1950s. So there's been a big focus on immunizing everyone. Whooping cough is a severe respiratory illness, and the population that's most effective are infants, less than 1 year old. And it can cause severe coughing, respiratory difficulties, hospitalization, even death. So what do we need to do? We need to get immunized. All of us need to get immunized to protect these infants. So grandparents, husbands, pregnant women are required now, or highly recommended, that they get a pertussis, or we call it a Tdap, because the pertussis is included in a triple immunization.
Okay.
Pertussis, tetanus, and diphtheria. And also 7th graders in the state of Florida, they're required to have a Tdap update before they go into 7th grade. So if you have a 7th grader, you need to make sure they get that.
And what about flu prevention?
So flu is another one of those highly contagious diseases, and it spreads so rapidly. And it's simple to prevent by getting immunization. Every year we get a new flu vaccine, and they pick 3 or 4 strains that they know will be prevalent, and this can save people from being out of work, from kids being out of school. And the most vulnerable populations, again, are the infants and the elderly. So think about the young children at home and your parents, your grandparents. If we all get a flu shot, then we can protect them.
Oh, thank you. Great information. Very important. We want to protect our students and ourselves. And of course, if we do get sick, and it will happen, we want to find more information. You can find out from Gulf Coast Medical Group. You can visit them online, gulfcoastmedicalgroup.com.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call, and you cannot be turned down for any reason. Even if you have health problems or are living on a fixed income, guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance policies could work for you, with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
My mom didn't have life insurance, and the cost all fell on me. And that's expensive. We're still paying for that.
Yeah, we're still paying for that.
Call 1-800-218-4991 now. In one phone call, you can help prepare your family with protection amounts up to $25,000. There are no medical tests or health questions. And remember, you cannot be turned down for any reason. In fact, TruStage policies are already protecting over 18 million Americans. And rates are designed to be affordable, starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease.
When I leave, everything will be taken care of for them.
Call 1-800-218-4991 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TruStage offers plans to fit your budget with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-218-4991 now.
When you are home alone, an emergency can become a tragedy. However, with any of Life Alert's 3 emergency systems, help can be summoned immediately, whether in the bathroom,
I've fallen in the shower.
at home,
Help! I've fallen and I can't get up.
and on the go.
Help! I've fallen in the park and I can't get up.
Don't worry, help is on the way.
Life Alert saves a life every 11 minutes.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-518-0221. That's 1-800-518-0221. Call now, 1-800-518-0221. For a free brochure, call 1-800-518-0221.
So back to school week continues tomorrow right here on Suncoast View. We're going to talk to a local dad who designs lesson plans for homeschooled kids. Certainly a great option here in the Suncoast. Certainly FLVS, which is virtual school, makes that much easier than it used to be. We're also going to get some tips to pack those lunch boxes. That to me is the worst part of back to school, is back to making lunches every day.
I'm dreading that already.
I know, it's a lot of work. And then this is really neat. There's a group of Suncoast photographers called the Lightning Mafia. We will see some amazing shots just like these and learn about our local storm chasers. Kind of the opposite of what we're all told when the storms fire up. We take shelter, they go out and capture them.
Five good-looking guys are coming, I've been told.
Oh, Linda's got that marked, and you'll want to join us to see. Coming up next, we're going to join Allison from Peak Performance Catering in the kitchen for some watermelon gazpacho.
This is an ABC 7 News Update.
Good morning, I'm Stephanie Webb. Coming up today at noon, the new school year is less than a week away. We'll tell you why students here on the Suncoast might have a substitute teacher on the first day. And red tide is on the move. We'll tell you where the latest beaches are to see some of those signs. Right now, though, let's check in with First Alert meteorologist Josh Stone.
All right, Stephanie. Well, we're going to begin our day with mostly sunny skies. Then with the heating of the day, a few clouds will develop. And then by this afternoon, a few showers and storms will get going. Now, where are they going to head? Looks like with the easterly wind that will be taking place and the sea breeze convergence, that will be more close to the coastline, and the storms will push from east to west. Our high today will top out at 93 degrees, which is 3 degrees above the average high of 90. Same situation for tomorrow. Then Thursday and Friday, the rain chance does lessen. And then Saturday and Sunday, more rain will take place in our forecast, but they'll be inland.
This is an important message for anyone with Medicare. You may be eligible for an all-in-one Medicare plan that combines hospital, medical, and prescription drug coverage together with extra benefits that may include dental, vision, hearing aids, and much more. Some of these plans have a $0 monthly premium regardless of your income. That's right. For one low plan premium, or in some cases a $0 premium, you may be able to get coverage for your hospital visits, doctor appointments, prescription drugs, routine dental care, eyeglasses and contact lenses, hearing aids, and possibly more. Today may be the first time you've heard about this type of Medicare plan. The advisors at the Medicare.com helpline are licensed insurance agents who will explain more when you call. Call now to see if you qualify. Call the number on your screen now. Call now to see if you qualify for these benefits. You worked hard for your Medicare. Now is the time for your Medicare to work hard for you. Not affiliated with or acting on behalf of any government agency or program.
Did you know that a dirty CPAP system could make you sick? If you knew what could be growing in your mask and hose, it would keep you up at night. Now, SoClean.com has released the world's first automated hands-free CPAP cleaner and sanitizer. With its patented design, SoClean is fast, effective, and hands-free, killing 99.9% of all CPAP germs and bacteria. Try SoClean now through this special TV offer, risk-free for 30 days. Just call 800-604-0398.
The SoClean works, and it's a really effective product, and I couldn't believe how easy it was to use.
SoClean works on all popular CPAP machines and masks, destroying CPAP germs and bacteria without the daily hassle of washing your system by hand. Just place your mask in, close the lid, and walk away. Voila! Sanitized and ready to use. Try SoClean risk-free for 30 days. This is a limited-time offer. Call now, 800-604-0398. Or visit SoClean.com today.
According to a new survey by U.S. News & World Report, 3 of Alabama's top 4 hotels and resorts are part of the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail Resort Collection. The Grand Hotel Marriott Resort in Point Clear, the Battle House Renaissance Mobile Hotel and Spa, and the Renaissance Birmingham Ross Bridge Golf Resort and Spa. Hey, we didn't invent Southern hospitality, we just offer more of it. Visit rtjgolf.com/resorts to find out more.
Don't allow your weight to threaten your health or control your future. Excess weight or obesity can cause emotional and physical health risks. But you can take control. The Your Weight Matters campaign offers free resources and tips to help you measure and understand your weight. Take the Your Weight Matters Challenge. The free toolkit prepares you to speak with a healthcare provider about your weight. Your weight does matter. Take the challenge and take control today.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC7 News app.
Welcome back. We're here with Chef Allison from Peak Performance Catering. What are we making today?
We are making a watermelon gazpacho. So instead of using a tomato juice, we're actually going to use watermelon for our liquid because it's pretty watery, obviously.
Yes.
Watermelon.
Get the liquid.
I'm also using some heirloom tomatoes for color. We're going to use the yellow tomatoes. I have an English cuke, and I have Cubanelle peppers. There's different peppers on the market, but I like using Cubanelles or sweet pepper. We have some jalapeno, which always gives it a little kick, and then what Stephanie and Joey are going to garnish. So we have some. So this is a watermelon gazpacho with a feta almond topping and a little creme fraiche. So creme fraiche is a combination of sour cream and heavy cream. So just a little bit. So it's great because this is a very creamy soup, but
all right, well,
no
let's
cream.
get Linda started. I think she's going to push the buttons.
Yes. So you're going to chop or cut those up. You can just break it up with your hand.
Oh, break it up?
Yeah, because we. Yeah.
And seeds come out just so they don't end up in the
Yeah, I
soup at all?
seeded this. This is an English cuke. It is a seeded cucumber, but I took them out even more.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to put a little bit of the watermelon in there. Okay. So the great thing about this is everything goes in at once.
Yeah, nice and easy.
Did you even cut this up the night before, Allison?
Yeah, actually, gazpacho usually is made the day before because you want it to kind of sit and all the flavors blend together. You can sit; it can sit for 4 hours, but I usually do it the day before because then
that
if
way
you're
the
having
flavors
company,
mold in.
so throw that in there.
You get
Do
to
these
prep
taste
the
like red
vegetables.
tomatoes?
They are really sweet. They're actually
sweeter than red tomatoes?
They're about the same, honestly. It's just the variety is an heirloom.
They're nice and
they're
juicy.
Better, yeah.
Those
you
are
want
gorgeous.
juicy.
Smells great.
You want the juiciness of the tomato. That's what's going to give us our liquidy.
Okay.
All right. So then we're adding lemon juice.
Okay.
Yep. Put the lemon juice in there. This is a cider vinegar. You can use red wine.
Cider vinegar?
Cider. It could fight, but you know, you want the cider vinegar.
It's extra good for you, Linda,
Okay,
the cider.
some people use red wine vinegar, there's malt vinegars. It's, you know, the great thing about cooking is that you get to do what you want to do. You know, use recipes as a guide. Okay, so I'm just going to pour this in because we just want a couple.
Only good cooks can say what you just said. Use recipes as a guide.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
And then we're going to hit it with, I have salt and white pepper. So then you're going to put the lid on.
Okay, Kathy, you're the technical person.
We're going to turn it like this. And then what we want to do is pulse.
Pulse.
So hit it, hit it, hit it. You're pulsing. Okay, while you're pulsing, yes, you're going to be cutting up some basil.
Do you want me to cut the basil, or are we going to
you're going to chiffonade.
Chiffonade
Well, we call
it?
it
I know how to do that. Roll it and
Yeah,
trim it.
so I'll give you this. Oops.
Okay.
Keep pulsing.
And then the other thing we forgot, we forgot the jalapeno. Let's throw
my
that in there.
goodness.
Here, you don't have to take the lid off. We got a nice little
I want to know more about this
entryway.
basil technique with the fancy name.
So chiffonade, whenever you see that at in a restaurant, it's actually the cut, you know?
Does it mean you roll it?
Well, I just kind of chiffonade. You can roll it.
Okay, I was taught to roll it, but that may just be me.
Well,
Wow, that sounds like a lot of trouble rolling up your sleeve.
okay. So that's that. I'll give you that. And then we're
Okay.
going to dice up some of the watermelon.
Can I stop and I
Yeah,
pulse
you can
it up?
stop. See how you got a nice...
Looks great.
Oh, yeah.
You want it a little bit chunky.
Okay, it is a
So-
little bit, but not much.
No, because, you know, it's not supposed to be like so... So we're going to turn it.
Is that okay?
See, look at the color. It's really
Yeah.
pretty.
Yeah, it is
You know,
very
if you
pretty.
want it a little bit darker, you can use, you know, the red tomatoes would give it the more red flavor.
All right, well, let's do some assembly here. So
Yeah.
tell us how we do it in
Okay,
each bowl.
so we're going to put a little bit of watermelon.
Watermelon
in
each bowl.
just to
Okay.
give us the
Oh,
chunk.
nice. So there'll be a little bite in there.
Yeah.
All right, and then you said some basil?
Throw some basil in there.
Basil in the bowl?
On the bottom.
Okay, and then what do we do with the feta stays on the tops?
Right, so basically what you want to do is, take your ladle.
Okay.
We're going to...
All right, I'll ladle
So
you.
this is if you want to, you know, be a little fancy with
Yeah,
the
let's
fries.
make them fancy on the top. So then
Yes.
feta and almonds?
So what I'm going to do is give you, this is the creme fraiche.
Okay.
We're going to kind of squirt
There
it
it goes.
around. And then we're going to add a little
Gosh,
bit
it
of
smells
feta
so incredibly fresh.
and a little bit of that, a little bit of feta, a little almonds, and then a little on top. So there you go. And you can
All
also,
right.
this could be nice Right, squirrel, there you go.
Oh, you are good, Stephanie.
Yeah.
And then put a little more basil.
Okay. So we are making watermelon gazpacho with Chef Allison. Now, are you working with the rowers again this year to do some
we
feeding?
have actually coming up in September is the World Rowing Masters is coming into town.
Oh, great.
So we're excited. There's a lot of teams. You know, last year was the World Rowing Championships.
Yes.
And now this year we have the Masters.
Oh, okay,
So
good. And I know
we've
you
got
work
people-
with the athletes, keep them fed, keep them powered.
Yes. So
Love
this
it.
is actually something really quick
Would
and
be
healthy.
perfect on the menu. All
Yeah.
right, well, you can find this on our website, of course, a great summer soup. Kathy, great to have you with us. Thanks
So
for
good to
joining
be
us.
here, as
Enjoy all the local produce. Enjoy the rest of your day as well. We'll see you
Thank
tomorrow. Take
you.
time, enjoy the Suncoast View.